Ordinary Council meeting for the 26th of March 2024. We have 0 applications for attendance by audio visual link. Acknowledgement of country, Councillor Bowditch.
I'd like to thank the people, members and councillors for attending the council meeting today on the lands owned by the Wanneroo people. With that, I'd like to extend our knowledge and respect to our elders past, present and emerging. Thank them for giving us the lands and the workplaces that we do our works and come to our meetings on.
Thanks, Councillor Bowditch. The civic prayer, Councillor Lecky.
Almighty God, from whom comes every good and perfect gift, we give you thanks for the blessings you bestow upon us in this Shire. Grant to those who hold office in this council spirit of justice and truth, of wisdom and charity, but mindful of our responsibility and of the needs of those we serve, we may promote the true welfare of our people. Exercise wisely and faithfully the authority committed to us and to common good. We give Christ our Lord. Amen.
Seated. Apologies, we have 0 full house. Confirmation of the minutes from the previous meeting, 27th of February. Councillor Bowditch, seconded by Councillor Barry. Everyone in favour, raise your hand, please. Do you need something? Do you want to speak or
no?
Okay. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Those against. Okay. Is there something that needs amending?
I don't think the report on regards to the Wanneroo, I understand what the anchor talking to this. I don't believe the report as written in the minutes reflects what was said in the meeting.
Thank you. Is there any action you'd like taken in relation to that, Councillor Scholes?
I think we can address it in things tonight, but it was more. I know that when we had the meeting and discussion, Councillor Marshall spoke, I spoke, Councillor Bowditch spoke. Councillor Bowditch's remarks were never recorded, as far as I can see. He spoke with regards to the sealing of the car park and not sealing it, and that's not recorded in the minutes.
It's not usually minutes. Word. Is that correct?
Generally speaking, that's the case, unless when councillors vote,
yeah,
the person who has decided to vote against it, that's noted in the minutes, Councillor.
Yeah, fair enough. That's the only reason.
Yes.
Now in the council minutes, the concern that I have.
Yeah.
And it's also within the council minutes that Councillor Bowditch did speak against, within the general discussion, the sealing of the car park.
Yeah. So that has been removed, seconded and resolved. Disclosure of any pecuniary and non-pecuniary interests.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I'd like to declare pecuniary interest in item 1.2, page 42, 3A 2023-78, geotechnical investigation Muswellbrook Pumped Hydro. That's pecuniary interest. My employer is involved in the project.
Can I just say what he said? Yeah, pecuniary interest in 10.1.2, the geotechnical investigation for the upper reservoir proposed pump, the Muswellbrook Pumped Hydro, as my employer is involved in the project.
Yes, so 11.3, the Malabar Community Funding Investment, noting the notice, I have an insignificant community interest. I'm on the CCC for Malabar. 11.4, Bengala Community Fund on page 1243. I am the chairperson of the Group 21 Rugby League Committee, and they are a major sponsor of the committee. 17.3, enclosed council. The roads and drainage upgrade works to Merton Street, Gammon. The contractor noted in the minutes my daughter works for.
Yes, pecuniary interest in item 10.2.4, page 315, the DA 2022-24 community facility shed, 17 to 19 Maitland Street. I'm the CEO of the Wanneroo Act who has that DA lodged. And then I have a non-cumulative insignificant on 10.3.2, page 982, Taryn Park Artworks. It's a joint project with council and the lab.
Seventeen point three, closed business, page 30. What about Merchant Street upgrade, road upgrade? Contractor.
Mr. Mayor, item number 10.1.6, monthly report to council planning and service fee number 533, GA number 2024.9.1. I and my wife own this property. I have a significant security interest.
And myself, item 11.4, the Bengal Community Fund Investment Committee, significant one there with my son was a recipient of a scholarship through Bengala last year. Right. There are a few more minutes. Public participation. We have Mr. Stuart Galway in relation to 10.1.2 DA 2023-78, the geotechnical investigations for upper reservoir proposed at Muswellbrook Pumped Hydro. So, if you'd like to, there if we can. Just excuse me a moment while I get the timer out.
Put it on the right part.
So yeah. So I've got 3 minutes, sorry, 2 minutes to speak. My apologies, Mr. Gallup. So, and then if you can stick around for any questions.
Yep, not a problem at all. Good evening, my name's Stuart Guy. I'm the Group Manager for Land Approvals and Environment at AGL Energy. Tonight I'm representing not just AGL Energy, but the joint venture between Inamitsu and AGL as part of the Muswellbrook Pumped Hydro joint venture for developing the project. So tonight the development application that's before you for determination is in relation to the geotechnical investigation for the upper reservoir. It's an important piece of work that needs to be undertaken for the project to be able to inform the upper reservoir design as part of the for the detailed design, sorry. So we're hoping we get a favourable determination tonight so that we can get that package of work underway. Thank you.
Any questions, councillors? Going to the left, to my right. Councillor Drake.
Yes, we, sure you know who, we not going to know who, but I understand there is some opposition or certainly some concern. Is it the case that you get the chance to address those concerns? I'm not saying you need to know who the people are. And if that is the case, have you addressed those concerns?
We responded formally to the application to any objections that were received.
Yes.
Yep.
You've had an ability to
I haven't met anybody personally on the project who's objected, but I formally responded to any objections that were received for both the lower and upper to council. Sorry, to council. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
This is 3, release of the section 88B instrument imposed on the title of lot 101 DP 79319.
Do that.
Moved by Councillor Woodruff, seconded by Councillor Barry. Any discussion? And all those in favour, please raise your hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. Ten point 1.2 DA 2023-78 geotechnical investigations for upper reservoir proposed Muswellbrook pumped hydro. There's a recommendation the council grants development consent to DA 2022-78 for geotechnical investigations and associated works at lot 93 DP 752484, lot 24 DP 752484, lot 84 DP 752484, lot 85 DP 752484, lot 23 DP 752484, lot 167 DP 752444, lot 5 DP 11788473, and lot 1 DP 134665, lot 1 DP 398873, lot 100 DP 666041, lot 1 DP 113760, part lot 126 DP 752444, subject to the recommended conditions of consent included in attachment B. By Councillor Douglas, seconded Councillor Dunn. Any discussion? Commit that. Everyone in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. Thank you. Coming along, Mr. O'Day, you're welcome to stay. Ten point 1.3, the DA 2023-86 Childcare Centre at 84 Brook Street, Muswellbrook. Council approves DA 2023-86, the development of a new childcare centre at lot 1 DP 795300 84 Brook Street, Muswellbrook, subject to the recommended conditions of consent included in attachment B. Councillor Jaden. Seconded by Councillor Barry.
I have a question.
Yeah, question clarification, yeah.
I had a discussion after the briefing yesterday with the general manager, because I missed this thing of the briefing yesterday. My one concern is under the car park, the fact that it's not going to have any grass, anything there on it. It's basically bare earth that is going to scour fairly badly because the soil will gradually dry out, break down, and that will become an issue underneath that. There needs to be some way that needs to be addressed. Stabilised. Otherwise, it will scour and just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
The General Manager of Legal.
Thanks. Thank you, Councillor Scholes, for the question, and thanks, Mr. Mayor. You're happy for the Chief Engineer to answer?
Yes.
Thanks for joining, Peter. Council's Chief Engineer will provide an answer, please. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you very much, Councillor Scholes and other councillors here tonight. So that has been taken into consideration of the conditions of consent, that geotechnical testing relating to the soil type in the area and protection, whether it be rock protection, gabion, geofabric, all kinds of permanent protection will need to be included as part of the construction certificate plans. So that's been addressed.
Yeah, so to the council officer, for the mayor. Yeah, my one concern is soil testing now. Soil that's there now that's exposed to the air and has a certain moisture level is going to be different to the soil that's going to be under there in 3-4 years' time. So I don't think soil testing in any way is going to help you. I think you're going to have to go to some design that's going to the riprap and geotech fabric. From my knowledge.
So just on that, Councillor Scholes, I'll generally agree. There will be different material that will enter the channel over time, but the solution to keep the existing embankments in place and stable will be a key consideration and will be subject to a detailed review.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Question, clarification?
Yeah, just through Mr. Mayor, in the report, it talks about the condition of maintaining a clear waterway beneath the car park. Just wondering what that involves or how that's going to be affected. Thank you, Councillor. Yeah, thank you for that, Councillor. Bill, you're happy to answer that, Peter?
Yes, thank you. So the requirement that the Director of Planning Services has agreed with is that the maintenance of that area will need to be maintained by the applicant over time, and that will include that any branches, debris or sediment deposition under the DA will need to be continuously maintained and looked after due to the fact of that floating car park design that they currently have. So whether that be spade work or removal of debris, all of that will be included in their maintenance requirements.
And released by council. We will. I think. Sorry, Shane. Council Director, Planning Environmental Services, provide an answer. Thanks very much.
Mr. Mayor, councillors. So the intention would be at the time they submit the design for the structure and do the soil testing and design for protection of the banks. We'll also be asking them about that ongoing maintenance and how it will be undertaken and the frequency. It could be that it's triggered by a local storm event that raises the water levels. So we're particularly concerned about dead vegetation coming from upstream and rubbish because we're near a shopping centre. So some of this detail will come in the construction certificate phase, but certainly we intend to be able to police it, and by putting that condition in the consent, we can put it under their nose and say, you're not complying, do something.
Thank you very much. I'll just add some of this right, please. In addition, councillors remember a report came to council for the creation of an easement to the property of the neighbours, the subject property, and council will be carrying out maintenance of that site from time to time, and so we'll have the opportunity to check informally that there's no impediment to stormwater progress.
Clarification. Just a clarification as well. Sorry, with regards to that, because the car park is virtually border to border, and they've got to clean out underneath, but potentially have to go into some of this property to get access underneath. I see that as a concern. And the other thing I raised with you last night, and I think it's in the conditions, but I just want to stress it again. The buildings on one side of the creek, the moment that creek goes into flood, the children that are in that facility are isolated. So the egress plan, whether that's a sly gate up into the preschool or whatever, they're going to need some way of getting children out of there when that creek is in flood.
Thanks very much, Councillor Scott. It is an important matter, and I know our Chief Engineer and the team have looked at it very closely. But I'll just start, and you can finish up with the answer if that's right, please. So they have conducted a flood management study, councillors, and also an evacuation management plan. And the study articulates that flooding would have affected in a 1 in 100 year flood.
Yeah.
And so the evacuation management plan considers actions under those circumstances. But I'll hand over to Peter, if that's right, please. I'll hand over to you, please, Peter.
Thanks, Derek. So that's correct. So the operational plan for the development does consider the purpose of evacuation, and that will include a range of factors such as weather reports, activity of rainfall over a period of flash flooding or over a number of days. So all of that's been included. To the best of my knowledge, it was a little while ago that I was reading through the detail, but that all forms part of those conditions to make sure that there is safety ensured for children at all times at the centre. And the flood impact assessment has also been considered and found to be satisfactory for the risk associated with that development.
Yeah, my point But my particular point is, okay, if the flood study said it will happen, it's 1 in 100 year. We all know the thing that you don't, but something will happen at some stage. The parents are sitting on Brook Street, the children are across the street over the other side. There's high ground where they can get out on that side. That there should be some part of what they do, whether they negotiate with a neighbour, if they knock a hole in the fence if they have to do it to get out on the high side to get across to Salvage Street. It's just, it's the worst case scenario, might never happen, but if you've got 50 children in there, 100 adults over there, it's going to be an issue.
I totally agree that safety is one of our paramount concerns when it comes to anything. I don't think we'd get a flash flood that'd just do it directly straight away. So I'd hope that there is a flood management plan that over the days of the weather, there'd be something activated so as the students weren't put in that position.
Yeah, my point is, worst case scenario, and that's the worst case scenario. There are easy options to fix. Why don't that be part of them? That's right.
Thanks, Councillor Coles. And it is a very important point. And Councillor Coles, you're absolutely right. This is a huge.
Just have to be in agreement with a neighbour that they can go through their property. It's as simple as that.
Thank you. We can certainly look at that. Thanks very much for that. Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to add to Councillor Scholes' comment in the earlier one. Once we put this car park across with the peering, where it says the peering in there, I understand we're going to do something to look at the, through the general manager to engineer, for the side maintaining of that, the walls and the earth that's going to leave. With the hydrology of that flow and the hydrolistic flow that's going to cause with the swelling and the twisting of those peering through that car park, under that car park, it's going to need some substantial work on that ground under it. Otherwise, we're going to get some rilling and we're going to get some digging out behind the rock structure down below the car park. So I just want to look at and make sure we can, the same concern as Councillor Sculls, we really focus on that, preparing that bank to stop that the rilling behind the current rock work downstream.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for your comments, Councillor. All of that will be formally considered as part of the detailed design phase of the development, but certainly will be taken into consideration. There were a number of iterations on this development that did include Leave and Possum Gully, generally not as affected by this floating car park, but then the issue with that is that they would then no longer be compliant with the parking DCP. And via the Traffic Committee, we've also put in place additional measures to ensure no on-street parking that would otherwise affect vision or access for egress or ingress into the site. So there have been a number of iterations relating around stormwater management, directing water back into Possum Gully and ensuring that the drainage area has adequate capacity to deal with all of those factors.
Thank you, Mr. James. Any further question or clarification? Commit that motion. It's been moved by Councillor Drayton, seconded by Councillor Barry. All those in favour, please raise a hand. That carried. .1.4 DA 2022-24 Community Facility Shed 17 to 19 Maitland Street. We have a recommendation there from council staff. The council supports the section 8.2 review by amending. You got someone in the lobby. By amending, sorry, councillors, its determination of DA 2022-124 and granting development consent to this application subject to the recommended conditions of consent included in attachment B. Councillor Drayton, seconded by Councillor Gunn.
I got appendix B. Can I get the statement for that consent? That first.
through the general manager, yes?
Sorry, councillor Scholes, what was that? I'm sorry.
Attachment B, it says within the offer recommendation, it says recommended conditions of consent included in attachment B.
Yes.
Like that.
You'd like clarification of attachment B?
Do you want to read
Yes,
it?
because this particular thing, there was confusion amongst different councillors on what we were actually voting last time this came up, because the conversation went on for quite a while. It's the thing I mentioned earlier on. I'd just like to get that clarified so there's no confusion.
As you saw by that last conversation, we can't, in the last item, that's why it's not detailed, the staff capture it, we take on board what Mark Councillor Bowdy said last.
Yeah, no, it's not about the money, it's about whether what we're voting on now approves an unsealed car park.
The general manager and planning director on their please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, councillors. Attachment B are the draft conditions of consent. The only condition that is altered from council's previous approval at the last council meeting is condition 9. Condition 9 relates to parking areas. A gravel hard stand parking area is to be installed to service the development prior to the issue of a construction certificate. An updated car parking plan is to be prepared detailing the location and construction of parking spaces generally in accordance with the approved plans and subject to the following. The requirements below take precedence over any inconsistency in the approved plans. The parking hard stand manoeuvring areas are to be formed, compacted with the gravel, dust using DGB 20 gravel as a minimum base course. The gravel hard stand areas, excluding the driveway vehicle access, shall be set back a minimum of 5 metres from any adjoining property. The gravel hard stand area is to be provided with the connection point to the vehicle access driveway. The gravel hard stand areas are to be set back a minimum of 5 metres from the high bank of the open stormwater drain, which runs parallel to the rear boundary of the subject site. Minimum area of 200 square metres. In addition to the gravel parking hard stand area, 1 accessible parking space to be installed to comply with accessibility requirements of the Building Code of Australia and access to the premises standard. This parking space is to be shown on the submitted car park plans. To achieve compliance with the Building Code of Australia, it will be necessary for the accessible parking space to be fully constructed, field, line marked and accessible path of travel provided to the building in accordance with the relevant Australian standards.
First of all, I apologise for putting you through that, but it's just important with regards to the confusion that happened last time, that in the recorded council meeting, what we're being voted on is clear, so the community know exactly what we're saying. Thank you.
Thank you.
So essentially, yeah, the gravel.
Yeah.
Moving back from what was
Yep.
then you moved into the last meeting. So we have that motion. Is there anyone?
I think it's a yes or no.
Yes, we've got someone moved and seconded. Do you wish to speak for it?
Oh.
First, councillor Drayton. Second, councillor Dunn. Sorry. Councillor Marshall.
I'd just like to express my disapproval of the application, because I believe we should be doing a traffic management plan, egress and ingress into the site, as I believe that there will be traffic problems as time goes on with the spare parts next door, service station 100 metres away, set of lights 250, 300 metres away, and a clothing store across the road. There's a lot of traffic in and out of those properties, and I believe that this will cause a traffic problem.
As they speaking against.
Yep.
There's no amendment, nothing. Someone to speak for it.
Money get taken away again.
So I just want to, speak for it. I think it's moving in the right direction, especially for the cultural significance of the land and everything there. And I believe with the way it's worded and amended, it can be formally controlled and sustained. So, yeah,
Well, I'd say is we've had it to council last meeting and went through it thoroughly. We just heard the motion amended to be the gravel in light of the section 8.2 of review that's come forward. Traffic management, there was 22 coming on the floor, sorry, but it was the traffic management plan. Understand your issues, but once again, it meets the requirements through what staff have put forward.
So that's against.
So I've committed, Councillor Drayton and Councillor Dunn moved in second. All those in favour, please raise a hand. Those against? Councillor Marshall, declare that carried. Ready? 10.1.5, Upper Hunter Region Employment Land Strategy. There's a recommendation that one council approves to write to the Department of Planning, Housing and Infrastructure seeking endorsement from the Department for the Upper Hunter Regional Employment Land Strategy. 2, notes the Upper Hunter Regional Employment Land Strategy provided in Attachment A, and 3, endorses the prioritised actions identified in Attachment B with delivery of actions to occur over the next 8 years through a combination of funding from A, Council General Operating Funds, B, planning agreements with various state significant development projects approved in the Shire, and C, grant funding. And just before that, just want to congratulate the staff involved in it, making that document come to life. Fantastic work. Someone to move? Councillor Scholes. Sorry. McNeil. Second, Councillor Marshall. Any discussion for? Against?
Yes.
You've got discussion? So,
Okay.
okay. Did you wish to speak for Councillor McNeil? Councillor Marshall? Councillor Bowdge?
Yes, I just want to speak against the planning. I understand the concept, what fabulous the work that's gone into it. I really appreciate taking after the work that the council staff have done it. But I believe we're in a pretty unique area up here in the Upper Hunter, and I believe that by joining this funding, we're going to lose out because of the different strategies that we got. What we have down further than up here is completely two different areas, and I'm not that much for it. So.
Thank you. For anyone? No. So
I'm against it, but
we've got no one to speak against it.
which
For it, so
it's just 5%.
yeah. What I'll do is commit the motion. All those in favour, please raise a hand. All those against? There, that carried. Sorry, Councillor Scholes, that's the meeting code of practice we have.
I understand it, but it's wrong.
Thanks. Yeah, disagree in that. 10.1.6, monthly report to Council, Planning, Environment and Regulatory Services. It's a recommendation that the information contained in this report be noted. Councillor Woodruff, Councillor Bowdge. Any discussion? All those in favour, please raise a hand. And carried. (10.2.1) concept design, Bell Street, Denman. There's a recommendation that council endorses the concept drawing attached to the report for the proposed Denman recreational reserve internal roads and Bell Street upgrades, and 2, notes the review of environmental factors attached to the report.
Mr. Mayor, I have an alternative. One,
When is that? What is that? Is that
I have an alternative.
amendment? Yep.
Endorse the concept drawings attached to the report for the proposed Denman Recreation Reserve internal roads and Bell Street upgrades, and delegate the general manager authority to liaise with the developer of the adjacent Parkview subdivision regarding the proposed construction of Bell Street to satisfy the existing conditions of development consent for future stages of the subdivision development. And further, that if changes to the design of Bell Street are required, then the further report will be submitted for the consideration of council. And 2, notes the review of the environmental factors attached to the report. And 3, ensure appropriate disposal of the mother of millions at the site, from the site, sorry.
So what's number 3?
Ensure appropriate disposal of the lead mother of millions located at the site.
You captured that there. Yes, that the third one's okay to come. Where we go. The moved by Councillor Woodruff, seconded by Councillor Bowditch. Anyone speak for or against the discussion? All those in favour, please raise your hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 10.2.2, Overby Street level crossing upgrade and rail reconditioning Denman. There's a recommendation the information contained in this report be noted. Councillor Marshall, seconded by Councillor Barry. Anyone in discussion? All those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 10.2.3, replacement of Dry Creek Road Causeway, Nobble Eye. Yeah.
If you screw it.
Yeah, and the northwest one.
Council endorses in principle, 1, the concept design for the replacement of the causeway at 7.4 kilometres on Dry Creek Road as attached to the report. And 2, authorise staff to undertake the required preliminary works necessary for the preparation of contract documents to go to open market inviting tenders for the replacement of the causeway.
I'll support the motion.
Councillor Sculls. Seconded Councillor Woodruff. Any discussion?
With regards to, as per the briefing last night, the conversation with the council officer, if we do strike trouble with regards to the Department of Transport, with the process, with regards to tendering and allocation money, we whether we, with the general manager needs some form of authority to progress it alternatively, before coming back to a meeting.
Yes,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, thanks very much, Councillor Scholes. It is an important matter. We've been engaged with the Transport for New South Wales over a long period of time. The disaster recovery funding arrangements are universally considered to be overly complex and time consuming and taking too much time to resolve. We will follow that up with Transport for New South Wales, provide further information for council if we meet any obstacles to progress in the project.
With that motion, all those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimously carried. 10.2.4, hang on, I've got to figure it out there. Council, right, sorry. Energy Corporation of New South Wales, Energy Co, Central West Arun Renewable Energy Zone, Port to Res Road Upgrade Program. There's a recommendation that Council 1 notes the information contained in the report and authorises staff to provide without prejudice to comment on the proposals to Transport for New South Wales, and 2, request Transport for New South Wales to be advised that Council intends to commence negotiations with Transport for New South Wales regarding the reclassification and upgrading of identified local roads to support the transport of renewable energy project components. So, hey, Councillor Drake, sorry, Councillor Williams.
An alternate motion. Which will, an amendment. I'll read it out and then speak to it, of course. So the motion I put is, through the body, I suppose. Notes the information contained in the report and request staff report the proposals to the local traffic committee for comment prior to providing without prejudice comment on the proposals to Transport for New South Wales. 2 is provide endorsement for Transport for New South Wales to advise that the preferred approval process for any proposed works on the road reserved for roads where council is the roads authority, including design of the proposal, is through application for a section 138 permit. 3, request Traffic for New South Wales be advised that council intends to commence negotiations with Traffic New South Wales regarding the reclassification upgrading of identified local roads to support the transportation of renewable energy project components, and 4, finally, authorises the general manager to continue to advocate for the provision of state funding to augment council staffing resource required to access Traffic New South Wales and National Heavy Vehicle Regulator proposals and permits.
An amendment to the motion?
I'll support the amendment, so you get going.
Thank you. Councillor.
Endorse what councillor Drayton said, or just rather the word advocate be removed and the word pursue should be put in there.
Happy to.
Accept that.
Happy to. Aggressive.
It was discussed up this end as well. All right, so that, yeah, if everyone is happy with that wording changed.
Yep.
I'll commit. It's the four.
Yeah.
About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 8th word along. Commit that motion. All those in favour, please raise your hand. There's that unanimous and carried. Thank you, councillors. 10.2.5 water and wastewater levels of service for the financial year 2023-2024 Q2. And council notes the information contained in the report.
I'll so move.
Second, councillors.
I reckon the word says that.
Anyone speak for it? Commit the motion. All those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried.
Excuse me, sorry, Mr. Mayor. We don't have a session.
Yeah, he does a motion.
Oh, councillor.
Yeah.
You do that, sure.
10.3.1, the Denman Return and Earn facility. There's a recommendation that council endorses staff to continue to work with TOMRA to find a suitable location and commit to a capital contribution towards the work required to prepare the site. Councillor Woodruff, Councillor Douglas, any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to add in there that council staff invested.
So you put an amendment?
Yeah, amendment to the thing, sorry, an amendment that council staff work with TOMRA to investigate the earn and learn facility that has the full bin instead of a single access to the return. So people just put their bins, it'll keep it cleaner and makes it easier, and then the machine sorts the cans and the bottles out into one.
That,
Can I make a suggestion? That's about it. But the council officers also pursue business case
Business case.
to look at a different form of machine that actually sorts the material as it's added. Is that all right?
Yeah.
and return and earn. Yep.
You might have to be the first one.
So you accept that, councillor Woodruff? Councillor Douglas?
Yes, councillor Scott.
Any further? I just commit that motion. All those in favour, please raise a hand.
There, I'll say.
Thank you.
Did you get, sorry. Sorry, councillors, I'll just go back to that. Apologies, just to capture that third.
Yeah, exactly. What I said, suggestion.
Council will investigate business case.
Yeah.
For an alternate machine.
That's
that sorts. Sorry, councillors, that is. The materials. Sorry, happy with that? Yep.
Yep.
So we'll just commit that again. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 10.3.2, the Tarampah Artworks. Council 1 endorses the proposed scope of artworks for Tarampah by Wanneroo Local Aboriginal Land Council under the Creative Courier Artist Program, and 2 allocates the budget identified in the report for the installation of the works. Councillor Bowditch and Councillor Marshall. Anyone speak for? Anyone commit that motion? No? All those for, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 10.3.3, major project status report. The council notes the information contained in the report. Captain Barry and Councillor Swervins, the second. Any discussion? With that motion, all those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 10.4.1, the rescission of the demolition policy and dilapidated buildings policy. Council rescinds, there's a recommendation, council rescinds the demolition policy and the dilapidated buildings policy. Councillor Woodruff, Councillor Barry. Discussion. Commit the motion. All those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 10.4.2, management of trees on roads and public land policy for adoption. There's recommendation that council adopts the management of trees on roads and public land policy. And it's moved by Councillor McNeil and seconded by Councillor Douglas. Any discussion? Commit that motion. All those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 10.4.3, the 2023-24 operational plan, 31st of December quarterly review. The council notes the 2023-2024 operational plan second quarter review dated the 31st of December 2023.
Talk to
New.
it. No, wait.
Clarification. Someone was to remove the motion. Councillor Mahajan and Councillor Marshall. Do you wish to speak? No.
It's, I'll play it again. I'd like to tee up a meeting with the General Manager with regards to this report. There's lots of, it doesn't have to be discussed in open council, but I found lots of minor areas and lots of concerns in the report with regards to things that are mentioned that will be happening in February, and that's in about 4 or 5 comments. And there's a whole lot of other things. And the other thing, which I mentioned at the briefing last night with regards to the progressing, in really looking at the report, you will note that in the progressing to 77%, it's nearly as up to 50% of those things that are progressing and that have progressed less than 50%. But I don't want to go through all the items now. It's pointless going through all the items. It's been a waste of councillor's time. But I'd like to be able to tee up with the General Manager to see where my concerns are. He can then put a report back if he wishes to council about that, because it's lots of little minor things, but I think they should be straightened up. It is a council report after all. I won't vote against the report being submitted, but I think there is some work that needs to be done.
Yeah. So you proceed, yeah. Okay, any further? I commit that. Did you wish to?
No, we'd be very happy to meet with Councillor Skiles in relation to those matters. Thanks very much.
Yes, commit that motion. All those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 10.4.44, presentation of the 2022-2023 audited financial statements. That the information contained in this report be noted. Councillor Woodruff, Councillor Mahajan, any discussion? Sorry. That over there, Josh. I saw you raise prick. All those in favour, please raise your hand. Unanimous and carried. I think the CFO was waiting for something, Mr. Woodruff. Then 10.4.5 monthly financial reports, February 2024. There's a recommendation the council notes the financial reports for the month ending 29th of February 2024. Councillor Marshall, seconded by Councillor Mahajan. Any discussion? All those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 10.4.6 reports on investment held as at 29th of February 2024. This recommendation that council notes council's investments as at 29th of February 2024.
Yeah, I've also moved, and I mean, no, as councillor Dunn did in the briefing yesterday with regards to the particularly good result of one of the investments.
Yes, that's moved by councillor Sculls and second by councillor Woodruff.
You'll take the praise anyway.
You'll get the blame if he has the other way. So you don't take it.
Motion. Those in favour, please raise your hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 10.5.1, Rock in the Brook. There's a recommendation the council endorses the planning for the Rock in the Brook event in 2024-2025 as per the attached event proposal. And 2, a further report be submitted to council on the detailed event proposal and final budget estimates for approval to proceed with the event. Moved by councillor Woodruff, seconded by councillor Lecky. Anyone speak for? No, against? Anyone? Councillor McNeil, you just got to, you want to speak for?
Yeah.
Go for first, because, yeah.
Yeah, look, I know there's a lot of feeling about this in terms of cost versus the benefit. And I have to admit, I was sort of on the fence there for a long time, but I just think community needs this. And the feedback in the report from the survey shows how well it has been received from the community. So on that basis, I'm supporting it.
Okay, councillor Drake.
I'll speak yes. I don't disagree with most of what councillor Nicky just said. Of course, it was a great event. And, you know, feedback was fantastic. I was there myself, as most councillors were, and certainly a great event. But I guess the decision, and so I oppose the decision, $250,000 spend, a guesstimate at the moment, as we understand it, for the sake of, I guess the feedback's good that we received. The feedback didn't really turn into numbers for us last time. When I say that, I compare to, if we do a direct comparison to other events, not haven't all been council events, there certainly are more now, so council events, but if we compare them to the Devon Wine and Food, if we compare them to the Catalogue Master, if we compare them to the Diesel Dust and Rust, feedback's good, and I don't deny any feedback is right, but ultimately feedback has to turn into numbers, and out of those list of community events I just mentioned, certainly the Rock on the Brook was the lowest attended out of them, albeit we have to go back some years to Devon Wine and Food, but I think the numbers there, Council Woodruff would correct me, probably around 7,000 or 8,000, so sort of double what we had at Rock on the Brook. I just don't think it's a great idea, community event. I'm just not sure that the expenditure of that amount of money, I mean, as I say, that's a guesstimate. That's without the fact that we've had reports now from Shire and the team about just how much work goes in. You can imagine, when it's a completely council-run event, how much work and how much time that team has to put into it. And it's time, as we understand, as I understand, and I'm happy to be corrected, time that we'll start working on it now, and we're still working on it in 12 months, when it happens in 12 months' time. That's a massive amount of work, massive amount of expenditure. But for me, it's an outdoor event, and I looked at the weather the week before, and it said it was going to be 1.5 inches of rain on the Saturday. We've just done 250k, because I'm sure that we're not going to get people stand out in torrential rain or whatever it might be. We can't do anything about that. That has to be an outdoor event. Can't move it indoors. I just don't think. I think for one, for the risk, and two, for the dollars, I'm not sure it's a good expenditure of capital funds.
Good drift. So obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I'll speak for it, Mr. Mayor. Understand Councillor Drayton's concerns. As you'll notice in the report, the amount is 250. If we can't run that event for 250, then it won't be happening. I think also in the report, the feedback from the community, again, as I reiterated last night, to me, it's for our community. We've set it at 5,000. regardless whether we get 5,000, whatever money we get, will go forward to prop up the next one. So to me, it's for us, for our people. I commend that. Thank you.
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, I'm just supporting Councillor Drayton in a particular thing. I just, as earlier on, I mentioned the operational plan and some of the tasks that aren't completed or delayed in the operational plan. And it's identified in that operational plan that some of these things haven't progressed because staff have been too busy doing other stuff. And it has been identified that this did chew up a lot of staff time when it was last done. And I still have concerns at the amount of staff time that we're spending on. We'll be spending on this, and I'm not necessarily against it, but I have great concerns that we're not resourced enough to do. Like the particular area I'm talking in the operation plan was looking at new businesses, looking at things with regards to expanding the business and economic side of this town forever for the next 10, 15 years. While this is a one-off event, and I do have concerns with regards to that. If you can convince me that we've got the resources, and also I agree with Councillor Woodruff, it's that dollars and that dollars only. No negotiation, no money hidden away. That's it.
Yes.
So,
Councillor Burgess.
I just want to again support Councillor Woodruff's for it. You know, I understand where Councillor Drayton and Skulls come from. As Councillor Woodruff said, 250,000 is the look at. This is for the people of our Shire. When you look at the value of this to our Shire with 4,000, 5,000 people, if we get there 4,000, compared to when we had the beer festival in Muswellbrook, $100,000 for 80 people. I see the value in this community as a whole because it's an open range for the kids, to the community, for the people to attend, not just people to come in to a beer show. So I support this wholeheartedly, 250 for our community to show and let the community appreciate what we're actually doing with them and they can come and win the whole event.
That's the age. Taking that all into consideration, the information, we commit the motion that was moved by Councillor Woodruff, seconded by Councillor Lecky. The motion that stands. All those in favour, please raise a hand. Those against? Carried. 10.5.2 New Year's Eve. There's a recommendation that Council 1 approves the proposed New Year's Eve event for 2024 as per the attached event proposal. 2, allocates 80,000 towards the delivery of the event. And 3, approves seeking sponsorship for the event in accordance with Council seeking sponsorship policy.
Yeah.
Moved by Councillor Drayton, seconded by Councillor Marshall. Any discussion? Any speak for? Speak against? All those in favour, please raise your hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 11.1, the minutes of committee meetings. 11.1, the Finance Review Committee, 20th of February 2024, that the minutes for the Finance Review Committee meeting held on the 20th of February 2024 be noted. Councillor Lecky and Councillor Barry. Any discussion? All those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 10.2, the Event Steering Committee. There's a recommendation that the minutes for the Event Steering Committee meeting held on the 20th of February 2024 be noted. 10.2, that's it. Councillor Douglas moved. Seconded by Councillor Woodruff. Any discussion? All those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 11.3, the Malabar Community Funding Investment Committee, the 4th of March 2024. That the minutes for the Malabar Community Funding Investment Committee meeting held on the 4th of March 2024 be noted. Councillor Lecky and, sorry, did I have someone Seconded, councillor Bowditch. Any discussion? All those in favour, that motion, all those in favour, please raise a hand. That unanimous and carried. The 11.4 Bengala Community Funding Investment Committee from the 5th of March 2024, that the minutes for the Bengala Community Funding Investment Committee meeting held on the 5th of March 2024 be noted. Councillor Leckey, seconded councillor Barry. Any discussion? Commit that motion. All those in favour, please raise a hand. So that unanimous and carried. 11.5, the Mac Energy Mount Pleasant Community Funding Investment Committee from the 5th of March 2024, that the minutes for the Mac Energy Mount Pleasant Community Funding Investment Committee held on the 5th of March 2024 be noted. Councillor Bowditch, seconded by councillor Leckey. Any discussion? Commit that. All those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 11.6, the Event Steering Committee Extraordinary on the 7th of March 2024. The record of proceedings for the Event Steering Committee meeting held on the 7th of March 2024 be noted. Councillor Douglas, by councillor Marshall. Any discussion? Commit that motion. All those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimously carried. 11.7, BHP Mount Arthur Community Funding Investment Committee from the 11th of March 2024. The recommendation that the minutes for the BHP Mount Arthur Community Funding Investment Committee meeting held on the 11th of March 2024 be noted. Councillor Woodruff, seconded by councillor Leckey. Any discussion? I commit that motion. All those in favour, please raise a hand. So that unanimous and carried. Nothing? No? Okay.
Next one.
11.8, Dartmoor Community Funding Investment Committee from the 12th of March 2024, with the minutes for the Dartmoor Community Funding Investment Committee meeting held on the 12th of March 2024 be noted. Someone to move that? Sorry, councillor Leckey. Second, councillor Barry.
Yes.
Any discussion? And so we have councillor wishing to speak for or against.
Against, I'll have to be again.
So councillor Leckey, do you wish to speak for? No, councillor Barry? No. Over to you, councillor Scholes.
I think that was one where there was just short of $500,000 allocated to a club. The one down heading towards I can never remember saying the beach.
From Tarrant Park.
Yeah. I can't call anywhere where that proposal has been discussed. That's a lot of dollars. That's a lot of dollars. I can't recall that ever being discussed in council. I myself have got no idea where that pathway would be or would go. I went down and had a look, and whether you go over the railway line and down where the steps are, or you try and come around all that. I'm not ready to sign off on that allocation of money for that particular project when it's pie in the sky. We don't know.
Oh, I'd have to pass that on to the general manager.
I can provide a response. Thanks very much for that. Yeah, for me to respond. Thank you very much, councillor Scholes. In relation to that matter, it's been identified as high risk. It's increasingly being used by young people to access Tarrant Park through pedestrian means or through use of bicycles. And staff have been concerned about the fact that we don't really provide safe access, certainly for pedestrians. And so the thinking is that we would design, firstly, a path from Tarrant Park to the Wilkins Street rail crossing. And the direction we'd use at this point would be to cross Aberdeen Street through a pedestrian crossing, progress up to the highway for around 10 to 15 metres, then just proceed down towards Keegan Street, and then construct the footpath along Keegan Street towards Wilkins Street rail footpath. That's the preliminary sort of concept at the moment. That would have to be confirmed through a design process.
So,
Question to clarify.
because it's a noting, and it's not necessarily, we're not absolutely, I don't see that as absolute allocation of money. Is it or not?
Is it the allocation of money?
Is it locked in allocation of money?
It is a council approves it.
There's no minutes.
Yes.
I'm slightly concerned with regards to.
If it helps, we could provide a report on that.
I think it deserves a report. That's a lot of dollars.
Yes, yeah. We haven't formed a report account. We have had some informal discussion, I think, in relation to that, but certainly that formal report has been able to give us.
It's just a lot of dollars just for a 1 line minute in a document like that. I think it needs more reporting.
Yes.
Looking forward, or-
I'm just going to say, no, that has been mentioned in the trade.
Okay, well,
No, it's been mentioned.
Yeah.
yeah.
Council's mentioned it, but it hasn't been formally discussed.
Yeah, put that into the line now and just give you a report.
Yes, certainly, of course, it's a great idea.
So to have a detail before the funds are committed.
Well, basically, I'm saying it is, I don't think endorsing the minutes should be the allocation of the money. And I'm not sure how that fits under local government rules as well. I think that amount of dollars, that have to have some form of formal agreement by the councillors as a group on with dollars against tasks.
At the moment.
Thanks, Councillor Scholes. So, Shelley's just confirmed it's an endorsement of the application, not the endorsement of the project. But I'm certainly, we'll bring that, I think it's a very good idea. You've raised a very good point. We'll bring a report back about that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, question for him, actually speaking for.
Just in response, I'll make the point that as a non-voting member on the Grants Review Committee, it was raised along with the footpath to McDonald's, which was supported as a priority one. Councillor Douglas was at that meeting.
Which meeting?
The grants review committee meeting. So it was endorsed as priority two at that meeting.
Which was, again, it's another meeting.
So we need to just get, making that back online, get the report sent back through the general manager. Not in committing the funds, we're resolving to.
This isn't the 12, this isn't.
We're not signing a check now, but a report will come back to council. So moved and seconded. Anyone, for against? All those in favour, with that motion, all those in favour, please raise your hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. 11.9, the State Significant Development Committee from the 12th of March 2024, that the minutes for the State Significant Development Committee held on the 12th of March 2024 be noted. Councillor Woodruff and Councillor McNeil. Any discussion? Commit the motion. All those in favour, please raise a hand. Yeah, that unanimous and carried. 11.10, the Local Traffic Committee minutes from the 12th of March 2024. Council's recommendation of the minutes for the Local Traffic Committee meeting held on the 12th of March 2024 be noted, and the recommendations contained therein be approved by the council. Councillor Bowditch and Councillor Marshall. Any discussion? With the motion, all those in favour, please raise your hand. That unanimous and carried. 11.11, the Grants Review Committee from the 14th of March 2024, that the minutes of the Grants Review Committee meeting held on the 14th of March 2024 be noted. 2, the sponsorship proposal for the 4,500 to the Muswellbrook Race Club be placed on public exhibition for a period of 28 days. And 3, a further report be submitted to council at the conclusion of the public exhibition period. Councillor Douglas. Moved. You want?
No. Because we have got a conflict there. With the Race Club.
Okay, we can pull the string now if you like to.
I just shoot it from.
Okay. So I've got Councillor Douglas moving, second by Councillor Marshall. Any discussion? Anyone speak for it or against? With that motion, all those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimously carried. 11.12, the AGL Community Funding Investment Committee from the 14th of March 2024. There's a recommendation the minutes for the AGL Community Funding and Investment Committee meeting held on the 14th of March 2024 be noted. Councillor Bowditch and
Again, I'm particularly at my own work role. Don't worry about it. I noted on the minutes that it appears there's only one councillor on that committee, and that's yourself, Mr. Mayor. And the minutes of that meeting note that you weren't there. So that means we did not have a councillor at that meeting.
That's correct, councillor Scholes. Yes, at this point in time, yes.
Do we wish to? Oh, we can. Note that and resolve to have some. Additional. You should have in the council as well.
At the moment, it was, I mean, there was an attempt made to have an alternative councillor there. We'll continue always to try to make sure there's a councillor at these meetings, absolutely.
Yeah. So moved by councillor Bowdy, seconded by councillor Marshall, I think. Councillor Stoll, sorry, you seconded it.
Aye.
You seconded the motion, so councillor Bowdy, councillor Stoll.
That's okay.
Any further discussion? Commit that motion. All those in favour, raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carry. 12.1 FOGO collection system. Recommendation. I just have to go through it if you don't mind. The introduction, the recommendation is,
If I could, Mr Mayor, I'm not sure that what's written here is actually accurate as far as council's officer's recommendation.
The adjustment was removal of legislation and councillor Douglas within the body of the motion. So it said it is proposed that the only change there was the removal of councillor Drayton and councillor Douglas inside the motion.
Right. Council officer's recommendation wasn't the officer's recommendation, though.
No, that is the motion.
That's the motion, yeah. Yes. Sorry.
But I said is correct.
So
I don't have an issue.
so you have to read it out now and go through the motion.
I've got an issue with recommendation, but I have an issue with the motions.
Okay, I'll read the motion, yeah, if that's all right. 12. I've just got to read it out and we'll get to that. If that's right, yeah. Recommendation that the introduction of the FOGO collection system continues to be introduced in the July 2024 as supported by council. Changes, however, be made to the previous decision of a weekly collection of the red bin. It is proposed that the weekly red bin collection remains in its current form. These changes are proposed after the large amount of community feedback regarding the red bin collection. This weekly red bin collection is to continue until a time when council decides residents are familiar and comfortable with the FOGO system.
That's moderate.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. I want to move for deferral. I want to move if I can for deferral. Just briefly, I don't agree with the officer's recommendation. My view, and certainly as I'm aware, Councillor Douglas, and we were the only two councillors, my view was that it would be at no cost to the ratepayer. So that the same bin collection as they have now, with the inclusion of FOGO for a period of time year round. My view, I understand, I don't actually fully understand up to last night's briefing, but understand there's, and I always understood there'll be an extra cost for council. For me, that was a cost that I was prepared, depending on what the cost was, that we don't really know, but I'm prepared to wear for a little while until people got settled in with the whole FOGO system. But certainly, I mean, I guess, we say as councillors that the state government's imposing on us, they are. We're imposing it on, it's no different to a ratepayer saying, well, you're a council, you're imposing on me. And I guess that's how it works. So for that reason, I think there still remains a number of financial questions, particularly around dollars. I'll ask for deferral of that matter, and a report be prepared for councillors before the next meeting.
So from what I'm taking from that, you want to defer your motion, and do you want to add in the meantime? I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do you want to add more detail to the report in
Yes,
relation?
yeah. When I spoke, I've responded more so to the officer's recommendation there, saying that I don't agree with that, and for that reason, we need to have
And you provide the further information that you require.
Yeah, particularly financially.
So Councillor Drayton's moved to defer, which is fair enough. Just need a second up, Councillor Douglas. You can speak, yeah.
noted and thank the staff for the effort that they've gone to in the report. But at the previous meeting, we didn't just ask for what it would cost. We wanted to know what savings were going to be made by council during that period of FOGO starting, so that we could look at the offset of what council was saving compared to what they said it's going to cost us to have the weekly bin. And that's what we were. The changes haven't been made to the previous decision of a fortnight collection of red bin because we wanted it to stay as a weekly.
Yeah, so that's the clarification.
Yeah.
That was the motion Councillor Drayton submitted, so we're just making that extra information. Yeah. So that.
Thanks, Councillor. Thanks, Mr. Lennon.
If I could, there won't be any savings.
Can I,
Sure.
fully across after the discussion with the General Manager and seeing the motion as to the intent from Councillor Drayton and from the wording from Councillor Douglas that they wanted to receive the information. So the deferral is fair for that information to then come back at the next meeting.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor, and thanks, councillors. Yes, we'll focus entirely on the financials, provide those financial information. Yeah, and be as clear as we possibly can, so enables you to make a reasonable and balanced decision on the best interests of the community as you always do.
Just a clarification, if I can, with the financial, just so we don't end up where we are.
Yeah.
Now, also with the finance, a cost or an estimate, as difficult as it might be, on what it might be to supply extra red bins to those who want them. Now, we're not going to know exact numbers, but we're going to get it here.
Yeah.
So it's not just the financial in picking the bin up and sticking it at the back of the truck. It's also that cost of supplying red bins to anyone who might want them. So they've actually got the same, they can dispose of the same amount of waste, albeit they've got to hold on to it for a week longer, but they can dispose of the same amount of waste. So that cost as well, if we could give some sort of estimate on that.
If you can articulate that in the email so as we can get what the outcome we want, that'd be perfect.
Can you send that in on?
Yep.
We all might have another 10,000.
Just more information. We'll back on that information.
Yeah, thanks very much for that. Thank you.
So you,
Although, sorry, Councillor, would you look a bit confused? Can
My question to the Minister of Money, I suppose, is there will be no saving. Our budget has been worked out on the new scheme. So there'll be no saving to continue the red bin in its current form. Like, there can't be a saving. It's fallacy, sure.
Sorry, yeah, we'll get that information. It's been deferred. Sorry, you were looking at me like I had two heads then. I was, yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll get that information clarified as to what we want to obtain the information.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, all those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous. Carried. 13, item 13, councillor reports.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Very aptly, given the previous conversations, but it was raised with me about the safety of pedestrian actions to Tarrant Park Beach. So I took it upon myself on 2 occasions to walk to the beach, and I have to say, on both occasions, it was in the peak of the heat. I did it late of an afternoon, and I felt I was taking my life in my own hands.
Sorry.
This is my report.
Okay.
And that was 2 times that happened. And I will add that some of the traffic that was travelling there at that time, I suspect, was traffic for the mine. It was very constant. And I believe probably that traffic shouldn't be on the mine. But in terms of our core values of providing equal access to our facilities, I think it's a large gap at the moment.
A unique council report. You just have to make sure.
we have council reports when we have council reports.
Yeah, so that's what we'll look into that. But taken on board. Any further council reports? Councillor Lecky.
Pleasure of attending the Australian Local Government Women's Association conference at Ryde. We need to sort of see an excellent MC and the presentation, very informative and enjoyable. The committee commented on our Muswellbrook exciting facilities. But they've come to a meeting here and talked about STEM and all our facilities there are unbelievable, and they were reinvest. And the night of workshop was another highlight for me. That was and I was there for the presentation for my 30 years as a treasurer, and I now stood down as part of the committee.
Congratulations. Any other councillor reports? Okay, moving on to questions for next meeting. Do we have any questions for the next meeting? Councillor Bowditch.
Yeah. It's a question on doing for the next meeting. Can we have an answer back to the next meeting? About 12 months ago, a bin was burnt up at Volunteer Park, and that bin still hasn't been replaced. Can we get an answer on if we can get that bin replaced in Volunteer Park as the rubbish is building up closer around it where people walk?
Yep. Take that on board and get that support. It's never rectified before the next meeting. Okay.
I'm going to actually add to that because I've identified what has a similar issue as a bin that was burnt has one bin there now. Possibly the request is the council officers do an audit of the bins at all the recreation grounds and or replace them or supplement them where required.
And just to clarify, so I was at Highbrook on the weekend, the playground was phenomenal and well done to the outdoor staff. You're talking about over on the sports field side? Yes, yeah. So we just do the work on.
Call the other one.
Yes. Sorry?
Call the other one.
Any other questions for the next meeting? Councillor Woodruff?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to know if we have a certificate of appreciation available to members of our own staff. And if so, that I'm not sure if Leslie's now name, Leslie Nichols or Miller. I'd like to see a certificate of appreciation. That lady does an absolute fantastic job. Yes.
You can't have it back. Okay.
Second to none. Place looks amazing, and it's a one-woman team. Oh, gee, she did.
Yes, that's a great, thank you very much for that. We have it there, internal certificates of appreciation, yes. Thanks very much to the council.
Any further questions for the next meeting? No. Got an adjournment to close council. If someone wants to move that motion, Councillor Neal and Councillor Marshall. All those in favour, please raise a hand. Declare that unanimous and carried. Going to close council.
Thank you very much. Can we have a 5-minute break?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we have a 5-minute break.
5 minutes.
Sorry. In relation. In relation to 17.1 of the closed council resolved to defer that item for further information. 17.2, the power purchase agreement for large solar sites and street lighting and joint organisation. Council authorises the general manager to accept or decline to accept the recommended tender in the tender process for the Powering Tomorrow Regional Council's New South Wales power purchasing agreement led by 100 joint organisations for large sites and street lighting on council's behalf. And 2, resolves to procure the following contingents of renewable electricity in alignment with the net zero strategy. 100% renewable electricity if the tendered rates for supply of electricity are equal to or less than current contracted rates, or B, 50% renewable electricity for the first 2 years of the contract and 100% renewable electricity for the remainder of the contract. Firm, if tendered rates exceed the current contracted rates for supply of electricity. And 3, authorises the general manager to negotiate, agree and to enter into a contract for the supply of electricity to large sites and street lighting in accordance with recommendation 2 above on council's behalf. Resolved unanimously. 17.3, the contract 2023-2024 0582 road and drainage upgrade Merton Street, Denman. The council one accepts the tender submitted by KCE Proprietary Limited for contract 2023-2024-0582 upgrade of road and drainage Merchant Street, Denman, for the lump sum of $1,527,600 exclusive of GST, and 2 delegates to the General Manager Authority to enter into a contract for the upgrade of road and drainage Merchant Street, Denman, under contract 2023-2024-0582. That was voted upon unanimously. The audit 17.4 Audit Risk and Improvement Committee. Council 1 appoints Michael O'Connor as Chair of the Audit Risk and Improvement Committee. 2 appoints Paul Quealy and Jason Masters as independent members of the Council Audit Risk and Improvement Committee. 3 appoints Councillor Scholes as a non-voting member to Councillor Arick for the remainder of Council's current term of office. And 4 endorses the formation of a joint ARIC between Muswellbrook Shire Council and Upper Hunter County Council. Was voted upon unanimously. 17.5, the Town Centre allocation of funding. That Council 1 endorses the request for reallocation of grant funding between Town Centre projects as identified in the report, and 2 notes the project status report. That was moved and voted on unanimously. The 17.6, the demolition of a fire damaged building. 1, Council endorses the preliminary structure of the proposed deed of agreement, and 2, prior to the execution of the final deed of agreement, a further report is provided to Council to endorse the final structure of the deed and funding options. That was moved and carried unanimously. 17.7, the Denman to Sandy Hollow water pipeline project. Council approves 1, advise the New South Wales government funding body of the change in project condition. 2, engage an external consultant to undertake an independent options analysis review. And 3, on the completion of the review, a further report is to be submitted for the review of Council. It was moved unanimously. And 17.8, recycled water contract. The Council 1 endorses the process to call for tenders for the sale of reused water. 2, endorses an initial term contract of 1 year with the option to extend the contract from terms for up to 4 one-year periods with the potential end users, and 3, formalises end users agreements as detailed in the report. I'd like to thank our council voted and moved unanimously on that. I'd like to thank the council staff and councillors for their participation and their effort this month, especially. Thank you. It's the end of the meeting, 11:58.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Oops.
Thank you.